last video, I'm going to begin with the last video. In the last video, I spoke about the ball is what goes all the way around. The ball needs a hat. It's a completion of one, right? Of one what? Okay. The in between the two breasts, as we spoke in a previous video, the V that's in between is what's between the two. Air, a hand, water, a valley, a passage of something. Now the milk and honey is on each side, but between two rivers, when the river passes in between, it feeds the water to the two sides. Like the W or the jack goes up. You know what the jack is? It's through your nose. That's your jack. Connected. Look, I got a jack. I got a plug-in. I can breathe. Oh my God. I can eat. I got a plug-in. I can feed the body, receive the spirit. Let's talk about this. We have the 90. This is your time. I speak about time as 90. It's not 60, it's 90. Maybe it's 60 because of the play we are in. We are in between 50 and 50 on each side, which leaves 40 and 40. 50 and 40, 50 and 40. That is what the sun, the IT system in the sun, okay, this is what the spread has to be. We can never actually be the center. Even if the line drags us to the center, it's dragging us to the center of the sun. But if it did meet, they would all crisscross at the end, and we would lose this area space. This side would go to that side would go to this side. Although it's all aimed, is it all aimed over here at this point? Are they all aimed at that bottom point over here? But on the other side, they'd crisscross anyways, regardless. We have 40 and 40 is your 80. Communication is your 80. Your disposal of communication of who you are, there's a receptor inside 10 and 10, okay, becomes of who you are as the 60 inside the clock. 40 and 20. 420, 9 lives. In between the area of the E world, E, and the creation world, E and C, any craps, and it is noted in the crap game. And the difference is that 7 or 70, which shows up on the P key when you have PQRS equals to 70. They remove the Q and put it on the bank machine on the 1 with the Z equaling to 43, the DC world to the EC world. Any craps, electric company. 1, 2, 1, 1. Not 56, because that is the creation of the red sun. 1 and 2, creation of 3. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 equals to E. 1 plus 2 equals to C. We now have the center world, 40. When we go into the end zone, okay, it goes down to 30. 30 to 90 is 60. 30 to 90 is 60. Saying sky zone, cielo. Herbert Hoover, Hoover Dam, 31st president, falls down to be the 30th president of creation because Grover Cleveland was the 22nd and 24th. He was life of 420. In the CFL, we revert the 140, okay, becomes 145 and 35 because we go 145 degrees this way and we go 35 degrees this way, leaving 55 and 55 or 110 towers in between the two states. 90 degrees, 90 is time, 6 is man, or what you want to call the electric spirit or the Holy Ghost that comes in and through the passage of the world, a moving object, more or less than an area of space taken up. We have the end zone, 1, 4, 5, and 3, 5. 4, 5 is the sun to electric company. We minus them as 10 or it's 80. We need the minimum of 10, the maximum of the maximum of 18. Okay, but 10 is inside 18, 10 is inside 19, and 10 is inside 17. Once you have 10, 18, you have everything, and I'll show you in another design. CFL and NFL, 365, 563, electric company, and the C world. We come into the end zone over here. We will now have the CFL. Is it a 20-yard end zone? I will have to check that and put it on pause. And coming from games people play, 110 yards worth 100. Something like 65 versus 50. End zones are also deeper, 20 yards versus 10. Goalposts are at the front of the end zone, whereas in the NFL, they're in the back of the end zone. So you understand the goalpost, you know, even though it's in the back of the end zone, that's 10 yards, right? And the other one, it's 20. So we're going to hold this book up again. And we're going to work on 20 yards into the end zone, right? Then 55 yards. The total is 75. We're going to write this down and take down this camera. So now we know the total is, we have here is 90. We have here is 55, and we have 20 in the end zone. That is a total of 75. We're left over with 15. That is Mars. This is General Electric, the moon. 6 and 3, creation of moons connected to where? 36, that is absolutely correct. Jupiter. The other side is the same thing. It becomes 57, 75, and 15 left over. 15, 51, 90 is your birth. 90 is the time. 90 is your time, so this is your setup. In the NFL, it becomes 50 and 10 equaling to 90, where 30 is left over. In the other one, it's 15 left over. So when we play tennis, we go 15 to one world, 30 to the next world. 15 to one world, 30 to the next world. 90 yards in the center here. We'll now get 55 and 20 equals to 75, which equals to 60. So now this is how we run our clocks from 90 to 75 to 60. 30 and 15 is my leftover. Now there's another calculation for 3 and 6. This will become 36, becomes 9, 6, 15. Anyways, I don't want to get into that. But if you take a look, right, this design over here, okay, there's more to this design. It actually comes down to here, okay, and up to here, and then this one will go up to here, and this is what they call that Illuminati sign, right? But there's other things to it that we can do a lot of things with it. 90 and 40, meaning 90 up to here, 40, which is the eyes, used or not used, the 80 on the other sides, the 80 and the 50. The end zone, okay, which in one game will be over here, in the other game maybe it'll be over here, but I'm going to put it. Then there's the 20 yards, right? They used to have it from the 20-yard line where they placed the ball. They used to kick the ball from the 35, right? Do you understand what these 145s are? This 145 is from this side all the way over to this side, right? This 35 is from here all the way to here, giving me 55 yards and 35 yards. Giving me 40 yards, 55, right? 55 yards and 35 yards. 5 and 3 is 8. 5 and 5 is 1. 1 and 8 equals to 7 and 8. 7 and 8 equals to 66. Like I said, all zeros equal 6. So this is this scenario for, is the world round or is the world flat? The world has to be more or less understood. And if you call going around a point making the world round, then I guess it's round. But it's flat, round, pointed. Now we're going to go into the next scenario of this video, which is the number game. And I'm going to take it on. I was going to show you the maximum numbers we can have and for which reason, because they will now work in reversal. Okay? The maximum numbers we can possibly have in reduction is going to be in the next video. Just to highlight at the end of this video, in case you don't go to the next video, is the dead sun center of 90. Okay, 180 meeting 85, and 85 is 170, and 5 and 5, right? They always talk about that 5 and 5, but in order to get a triangle out of the center, it would have to be 5, 5, and 5. Instead of just a distance of 5 on each side, it would have to also go out to create that actual, you need a diamond center. You can't have a triangle. It'll only be on one side. It won't be fair. It'll be 2 points to one side and 1 point to the other, or it'll be pointing to one side as an arrow, right? Making a 3-sided perfect triangle. What's actually going to happen over here? Well, we're going to just say where the ball is, which way the ball is going. Well, we need the perfect triangle. So we have 85, and 85 creates the matrix, plus that 15. You remember we just talked about that 15? 15 plus 55 is 70. right over here, 40. The over here is 55 degrees. 55 degrees, 20 in the end zone. 55 degrees. Now, there's other numbers, and I could have said, okay, in that 55 degrees, in that 55 for the NFL, okay, in the 55 for the NFL, right, in the 55 for the NFL, we will have how much inside of here? Will it be a 5 or a 10? You remember the 10 is from each end, but the dollar signs, they throw it either here, 2 for the dollar signs, or they throw it 1 for the dollar signs. You know what I'm saying? They either do this or they do with the same S, and then they put the dollar sign in between. Which one are we going to be doing? What are we running? What is the score? At the same time, I know I ended this video. It was actually 55, or it was 50. Okay. And we're going to take away 10 to make it 45 and to make this 40 because we want to count the 10 yards being with center field. It actually should be just 5, but I'm doing 10 and 10 because I'm not really sure. I can do both of them. I can do 5 and 10. 55 will be 45 and 50. Actually, we need a whole 10 yards. We need the whole 10 yards to complete it, right? To complete the whole down, we're going to use the 10 yards. So in one of them, I'm going to use 40, okay, to the 10-yard position. And then I'm going to use 10 yards in the end zone for the NFL. And that would be the 5, the E world, right? And this would be the 3, the C world. And this would be 45 and 20 and 10. 45, 20, and 10. So it'd be 9, 2, and 1. And this would be 1, 4, and 1. This is the 1, 4, and 1 exchange. This is the birth. I know right away. I know by the numbers. It is the birth. Anyways, Raphael, one last thing, and I'm going to get back to it again. And it's the 8. Inside the 8, 6, 9 is what happens is that 1 is a connector between here and here. This is the queen. You see the G that it creates? Just forget about that. See this over here? The Z? See these Zs? Well, if this was a sidewalk, right? It couldn't go any further this way. It couldn't go any further this way. But this way, it's the N. So the N shows me I'm getting onto the sidewalk. The Z shows me I'm walking down the sidewalk. Now, if I would create this, do you see this here? Right? If I would do it the opposite way, right, I would have to do this, and then it would be the swastika-like. Or it would stick out this way, and it would tell me the time between 3 and 7 and which way I'm walking, right? The foot is going forward. The foot is going forward. I'm walking that way, 3 towards 7, 2 parts at a time. Moving forward, moving backwards. Another part, and I'm going to do this in my next video also, here's that walking step. Opposite of these two in low shoe and numbers is 3467, and that is your moon diameter. 7 and 13, 7 and 4, I'm walking Jesus in rotation. Rotation of 6 and 9, low shoe. 6 and 9, low shoe. 6, 4 and 1. Low shoe, 4 and 6. 4 and 6. 3 and 7 is right over here. And twice, okay, twice does it mention connecting to the moon diameter 3, 7, 4, and 6. And then 3, 4, 7, and 6. This one's in quarters. This one's in halves. 1/2 and 1/4. 41 and 21. Father da, abada, abada. The E world, 3 and 5. Electric company, 3 and 5. So there's a whole lot of things in here. I'm going to come back into the next video. Inside this video, the number 19 says, I am and I have. I am the window. I am the one to see. Voir, life. Avoir, to have, to see. Anyways, Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. The German flag, 3 colors, say 292. And say 8 in French. Thank you for watching.